Today we're looking at what gives life value. Are you looking for more purpose, more meaning in your life? Check out today's episode. How is it we can do some amazing and sometimes unexplainable things, like heal our own bodies by the power of our thought? Mother's intuition, the law of attraction. Can we really tap into our subconscious mind? Can we really create our own realities? It begs the question, are we novice gods? All right, thank you so much for joining me. This has been a really fun documentary series. If this is your first time joining us, what we're doing is we're looking at how to have a more meaningful life, a more purpose-filled life, how to live without the shackles of a mindset that is confining to us, how to get rid of any limiting beliefs that we have, and how to just live abundantly. So today we are looking at the question of what gives life value. Now, if you're somebody that wants to have a meaningful life, wants to have significance, and wants to have just satisfaction in your life, you're going to want to answer this question for yourself. So where do you find it? Well, first of all, where have you been looking? What have you been doing right now to find value in your life? And how's that working out for you? I know for me and many other men that have struggled with this, especially in kind of their midlife, we get to our midlife and we realize, oh my gosh, I've been following the American dream. I've been doing everything I was told, and yet I don't feel happy. I don't feel successful. I don't feel satisfied. What am I doing wrong? I was checking all the boxes. I was doing what they told me to do. I was following the formula, and yet my life feels empty and meaningless. Does that sound familiar to you? Is that where you're at right now? Do you feel like your life doesn't have value, doesn't have meaning, and you're struggling with that? And you're looking today to look, what does give life value? Well, let me show you something. Okay, this is a fun little animation done in 1944 by Hyder and Simmel. And as you watch this, pay attention to the emotions that you're feeling. Pay attention to what's going through your mind. Now, I gotta tell you, you're gonna start hating that big triangle. You're probably gonna start feeling bad for that little triangle. And you know what? In a moment, you're gonna start to feel fear for the circle. Did you feel those emotions? Did you feel fear? Were you worried for this small triangle? Were you angry at the big triangle? All of these emotions that you just felt, you felt because you created them. You created this story. You created this story around what was really going on there. I mean, what was really going on there? There was a couple of triangles, there was a circle, and there was some shapes. And yet, because of the way it played out, you started telling yourself a story inside that put meaning behind it. And that meaning is what determines your emotions about it. Whether you like the big triangle or the little triangle, or were you worried for the circle. But it all comes down to the stories we put behind it. So what gives life meaning? What gives life value? What determines this is you. It is your perception. It is your ability to create a constructive or a destructive story about yourself, who you are, what you're about, and then kind of following through with that. So, as we talk about what gives life value, let me just share with you 3 things that will hopefully help you as you decide to create value and meaningfulness in your life. Now, I just got to tell you that we're going to naturally create stories about ourselves, what we think life is about, what we think we're about. And if we don't do it deliberately, if we don't do it intentionally, we're just going to get what we get. And generally that's going to be pretty negative because it's really easy to think negatively because you're thinking downhill. But if you are deliberate and intentional about your mindset, about what you choose to believe, about what you choose to focus on, you're going to be able to create some amazing things in your life. So the first thing that I want to share with you is, first of all, choose your beliefs. Now, this whole documentary series has been about the power of our beliefs, what we can create in our lives, what we can manifest, and the difference that we can make by choosing what we believe in to our core and then responding the way we live by our habits, by our intentions, by our actions. That's how we create amazing things in our lives. So if you want to have a meaningful life, start out by choosing your beliefs. Recognize that you have the capability to create your own beliefs, to choose the beliefs that are going to help you and stay away from the beliefs that are not going to serve you. Again, check out this whole documentary series for other beliefs that we look at and how we can be more in control and recognize really who we truly are and be more our true full selves. So now the next thing, if you want to have a life of value, if you want to have a life of purpose and meaning, get curious about your contribution. What kind of contribution can you make? What are you here for? What can you do that when you leave this world, you will leave it a better world? Or when you leave this world, people look back and really miss you because of what you were able to contribute. I think about some of the really great people in the world, in the history of the world, and how we revere them because of what they were able to do. And generally, it is because of what they were able to do for others. It's because of their contribution. It's because of how our lives are better because of them. So if you want to have your life have value, make sure that you are making a life for others, a life easier for others, so that, it's not all just about you, but it's about who you can serve and how you can make their lives better. Now, the next thing, if you want to have a life of value, you've got to make this a consistent process. Now, Harvard did a study. They spent over 15 years on this study. It's called the Harvard Progress Principle. And what they did was they studied the happiest, the most resilient, the most successful, innovative, I'm going to be okay here, innovative people, and to determine what was it that made them that way. And one of the things that they found was that they made consistent progress in meaningful work. The cool thing about that is, who determines what is meaningful? Does it mean that you're saving orphans, or that you are curing cancer, or doing this amazing thing on a national or international stage? Not necessarily. See, it just needs to be meaningful to you. If you've been focusing on what your contribution can be, if you've been looking and getting curious about who you really are, if you've been challenging your beliefs and getting rid of the beliefs that aren't serving you, and instead installing beliefs that show that you are greater than you ever thought you were, and that you are capable of much more, and that many more people need you. As you start to have those things in place in your life, and then you make consistent progress in what is meaningful to you, in meaningful work, you're going to have an amazing life. So I just want to share that with you. If you're curious about what gives life value, it's you. It's the stories you tell about yourself, and most importantly, it is the stories you create about yourself. Get deliberate, get intentional, get up early in the morning and start a process, a morning routine that helps you get really focused on who you are, what you're about, what your values are, and will help you accomplish that. As you do that, you're going to find that your life has value not just for you, but for others. You are making a contribution, you're making the world a better place, and you are a valuable person. What are your thoughts? You've had time to think. Now it's time for you to share. In the comments section below, share your thoughts, ideas, and questions, especially any insights that inspired you to take action. Of course, the best place to take action is at scottwilhite.com, because if you join me for a free web class, I will reward you with a purpose planner so you can start each day with confidence, clarity, and conviction. What if you are a God in the making? That would mean there's purpose to your life, meaning to your challenges. You have a great work to do. May you have the courage, faith, and power to become who you were truly meant to be. See you next time.